And I am live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. It's gonna be a solo act today because I'm not gonna lie to you. Before Thursday, I didn't have a lot of topics because a lot of shit wasn't going on. And the only topic I had was the elephant that spun the block on the woman that she killed. And I thought that story was hilarious, but that was like my only topic. Wasn't until uh, and as you can hear in my voice that I've been going through a cold, and I feel like I got a stomach virus or some shit like that because I've been having diarrhea. I know that I know there's too much information, but like I just could not stay off the toilet right now. So sorry for y'all to hear that, but I was gonna get this. I was gonna look today. I was trying to see if I could get this podcast done or not. I was like, do I need to put people in or not? I don't know, but I will bring these topics around to, especially Roe v. Wade. So we're gonna be talking about the next time the whole panel is here because I'm pretty sure everybody else has something to say too, and I'm gonna give them a chance to say it. But before I get there, I wanted to talk about a couple things. One, exactly one of the things. Excuse me. I'm sorry. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the elephant that spun the block. I is like when you hear that story, you think it's like, damn, this shit made up or this shit real. Once you figure out it's real, you're just like, God damn. And then it's funny because you see all the black people siding with the elephant. And it's like, oh no, you must have did something for that elephant to do that. Because not only she stomped you out, to make you dead, she pulled up to your funeral to make sure you dead again. I don't know what type of person you are, but you deserve that. And but what people said that she was helping poachers take away their kids or some shit like that. And if that's the shit, yeah, you got what you deserve. It's like you're not gonna get no sympathy from black people. Matter of fact, black people, we are so creative. We made jokes about an elephant spinning the block on that lady, which is funny. I just like that whole situation is funny. That whole situation is just funny to me. So I looked at that story and it was just like, all right, this shit is hilarious. So more of the story, an elephant, when they tell you an elephant never forgets, they don't fucking forget. And in the words of Thugnificent, damn, what the hell you niggas do to make her that mad? I never want someone, because I've heard like regular human beings, like we do some petty shit, like the dude that pulled up to his op's funeral to make sure he was dead and some shit like that. To me, that's some that's some hatred. Heard motherfuckers shooting up funerals at after they find out their ops is dead, they go to the funerals, they shoot their body up a little bit more. Like I've heard some weird wacky shit that's just like, damn, there's a lot of hate in this world. So me hearing that story, it's just like, damn. It's the stomping that's the one point, but when you fucking spin the block just to make sure you dead, it remind me it's like that Medea play where she's like, I beat him down 8 feet. It's like he's supposed to be 6 feet under. When I saw him, I beat him down 2 more feet. So, in conclusion, an elephant never forgets. And y'all wonder why I didn't want to do the podcast. That was literally, if that was Thursday, that was literally the podcast in these 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, since then, shit doesn't happen. Like the Omarion versus Mario. Excuse me. The Omarion versus Mario versus that was happening. That a lot of people was excited for. It was like, it's for, if you grew up in that 2000s R&B, like these are the people you kind of want to see, like the Omarions, the Marios, the Pleasure P's, the Sammy, and I guess Ray J. Look, I don't clown Ray J enough. It's just like to a point where I'm like, damn it, I'm never gonna get that imaginary relationship with Brandy that I want. I'm never gonna get that imaginary relationship with Brandy that I want. But look, shout out to Brandy. I just think your brother is corny. It's just like, and that's your brother, and like the fact that you like support him and all that stuff, that is great. You're a wonderful woman. You don't help that man with a career and everything. And you know he's like he do the Raycon, he has business ventures that he's in. Like when he does that stuff, I'm cool with that. I don't like seeing him act. I've never been a fan of his acting. Matter of fact, the only song I really ever did like from him was One Wish, which is like the only song anybody ever liked from him is One Wish. So let's get to the. Before we even get to Mario and Omarion, which I realized that they both have the same letters, and I think that's why I say I think that's why Mario said you can't even spell Omarion without Mario. Then you realize you look at his name, it's like, oh shit, you are right. So he's just on. So the pre-show, it had Ray J, it had Pleasure P, it had Bobby Valentino, it had Sammy. Those four. And first thing that popped in my head wasn't even like One Wish. It was, I haven't seen Sammy in a fucking while. That nigga looked like bang. That nigga, I think that nigga bang. All right. I couldn't even tell you that was Sammy. I was like, anytime you see Sammy, he's like, damn, I wouldn't even tell you. I wouldn't even know that was Sammy. But that's the last time you seen him was fucking Hardball talking about strike one, caught you by surprise, strike two, right before your eyes. But that shit was ghetto as fuck. That shit was ghetto as fuck. One thing about singing live, it exposes a lot of people. So I don't care what anybody say. Your Mariah Careys, your Whitney Houstons, they know. You're gonna see me live. I better hit those notes. I have not. Have I been to a Beyonce concert? No. But every time I see her live, I've never seen her miss a note. I've seen Sierra miss a note. I've seen other singers. I've seen Omarion miss a note a couple here and there, but you know, he dances. So I usually give him a slide. Usually I give people that dance a fucking slide, but when you're not dancing, then I start the question. And that was Ray J. I don't want to continue and bashing on Ray J because I want to have my relationship with Brandy. I'm just that woman's so bad. That's so beautiful, you know. I know she it's like, can I just have someone like Brandy? But I don't even know if she married or not. But you know, Brandy loves her brother Ray J. So but he was bad the whole night. He was bad, and I think them dancers belonged to him too, and they just stayed there. And that I don't know if anybody ever just noticed, them dancers just stayed there. Like they was there for wait a minute, and then they just stayed there, and they was just in the background, just like. And then Pleasure P was grinding on one of them, and then just like, are they there for a reason? Was they there for the? And then they was dancing for other people, and then it's just like. Okay, did they only have choreography for wait a minute or some shit like that? I wondered about the dancers. I really did. It's like, what were they there for? And they all look Spanish or Dominican. descent. I ain't think I see, or like maybe it was one of them was light skinned, but they all look Spanish and Dominican. That's another thing I noticed. I was like, there's not one dark skinned journey in there. Pleasure P killed it, and I think Sammy killed it. I think Sammy, he was hyped the whole time, and I think I guess Ray J lit a fire under him because he came out there swinging. It got to a point where it's just like, I don't know, Ray J must have thought he was the main attraction. And it's just like, me, I was there for On the Hotline because I actually like Pretty Ricky. I thought they was a dope group. And I already knew, like, Pleasure P, he's just wasting his time. And he's going to be going solo soon. I already knew Pleasure P was going to go solo. So even when I first saw Pretty Ricky, I knew Pleasure P. It was like, Pleasure P, that nigga Pleasure P gonna go solo soon. Alright. It's just inevitable. I think Spectacular could have gone when he changed his name to Yellow Boy, but that whole shit with him in his underwear, I think y'all remember him dancing in his underwear. He was like, I'm just trying to see who best. And that nigga came out in them tighty fucking skip ass drawers and shit, and then the nigga started gyrating. I think that killed his career. That was self-sabotage. I don't think niggas ever... He's making money now. If anybody understands Spectacular, he's making good money now, so he don't need fucking rap money or that money. But that shit, oh my God. Spectacular, he did his thing. He played the songs I wanted to hear, which was Under and On the Hotline. And like, sometimes Instagram will go in and out for me. So I don't know if they did grind on me. But if they did, I'll probably watch it again to see if I missed it. And Bobby Valentino, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first thing that goes to my mind is him messing with that tranny, and the tranny go, "Where you going, Bobby Valentino? Where you going?" And I just get, and me and Father, because I was watching this with Father, and he was like, "Nigga, where's the fucking?" And Father was getting impatient. He was like, "Nigga, where the main attraction at?" This nigga, it was like, this shit. Man, I was enjoying the sideshow because I was like, yo, them niggas start getting gangster. It's like Ray J was about to bang on Sammy. Motherfucker, they was trying to kick him off. It was like, yo, they trying to kick us off. Plus, P was like, I turn this whole motherfucker upside down before they kick us off. And I was like, yo, these niggas, I said, y'all better stop messing with these R&B niggas like they soft or some shit like that. I bet just, especially like, Pleasure P or some shit. That nigga's about to bang. Ray J was getting pissed, especially when Pleasure P, Bobby V, and Sammy was doing One Wish, and they was harmonizing One Wish on the side, and Ray J was just looking at him. It's like, yo, these niggas is really singing my song. And you could tell he was getting visually pissed. But like I said, Sammy was on Demon Time. And he was trying to show these niggas like, hey, it's levels to this shit. That nigga Sammy could sing. Sammy could always sing. But that was the thing about being a child star. It's just like you grow up. How do you manage a child star to like someone you grown up? And shit. I don't know. It worked for Marcus Houston. To me, Marcus Houston, like he went from a child star to like having good solo albums when he was when he became an adult. I don't know why people couldn't do that for Sammy. Michael Jackson is like the perfect example from a child star to like him being the king of pop. And Sammy, he was trying to show off that nigga was talented. Like he was trying to sing for a deal, like this was Making a Band 2 or some shit like that. Or I think it was Making a Band 3. Yeah, Making a Band 3. Where he was trying to compete for Day 26 or some shit. Sammy was on it. If you want to ask me, like, who stole that night, or at least the pre-show, it was definitely Sammy and Pleasure P. Bobby Valentino, he was doing alright, but he was missing some beats. But one thing I will say about Bobby Valentino, whoever was his production, and I think, because I know he was with Disturbing the Peace, that nigga had he had beats from Timbaland. He had beats. I don't know who did that Tell Me beat. I forgot, but That's still one of my favorite instrumentals of all time. That beat goes so fucking hard. It's such a beautiful beat that you just cannot help but just love that shit. Now, on to the main event, which was Mario versus Omarion. Omarion started off with Touch. Now, I would say this. I knew some of those Omarion songs. I'm not even a big Omarion listener, but I knew some of it. He played MIA, which was off of that Maybach album, where he was on Maybach Music. And to me, that was my favorite song off of that album. So I already knew that song. So I pour one up, don't know when I answer, 'cause you know what I'm looking for. Pour me up. Hey, I know I can't sing, but I feel like I sound just as good as Omarion did. So, like I said, I was waiting for On a Hotline, 'cause you know me, every time I hear that song, I'm waiting on my line. It's 5 a.m. I'm still sick. I'm like, my throat's sore too. So me singing is probably not as good. But, you know, I hit, even then, like, on that note, I was still sick. I was getting over the diarrhea and shit. I was making sure I get my turn. I was still going to sing that shit. I was going, it's 5 a.m. I was making sure I get my part in. It was like, I'm not missing my part. I told him, because I was listening to her. And even with Under, it was like, I was throwing breath and I was feeling in your chest when I go under. I was going to sing my parts. So it was not I was getting my shit in. Meanwhile, we'll get back to Omarion versus Mario. Omarion, yo, he was like, okay, like I said, I give, you know, people that dance a little slack, because it's hard to dance and sing at the same time. Like, you know, some people, they'll lip sing. Like, I've seen Britney Spears lip sing when she do her dances. And that, to me, that's fun, because it's like, it's hard to do. It's like, especially the hold your breath and shit, you doing all that choreography. I always gave Sierra that fucking leeway too, because she danced hard. Same thing with Chris Brown. Chris Brown, he doesn't use, I don't think I've ever seen Chris Brown fucking use, I don't think I've ever seen Chris Brown lip sync live. You probably have, but I've never seen him lip sync live. And that nigga dance hard too. And that's a dancing fool. Like, Sierra, Omarion, I give him the, but there was times where Omarion wasn't dancing and he was not hitting them notes. And oh my fucking God, Jeremiah, what happened to your voice? I know this boy could sing. He just could not sing that night. And if you thought Sammy was on Demon Time, that nigga Mario was on Demon Time. Like, he was talking shit. That nigga was like, he was gangster. He was in all black. Omarion done changed to like 4 different fucking outfits. While like Mario, he had to stay in all black or he took his shirt off. Tank was there, and then he tried to out sing Tank, and Tank was like, nigga, this ain't my verses. Cause I think niggas was trying to he was trying to do his shit, and then like Mario was just like, let me show you how to do it. Nigga hit a high note. It was like, walked off. Tank was like, this ain't my verses. It's like, but I don't take one of the nigga. It's like, don't fuck with Tank. All right, y'all trying Tank. Don't fuck with Tank. Tank, I love Mario. It's like, I would say Tank would have probably blown the nigga out the water or some shit like that. I'm not gonna say he blown it because I think that both would have been fire. That's all I'm gonna say. But I had Mario winning that whole thing even before the show started, and everybody was like, "Oh, I got Omarion," and all that shit. It was just like, what? I said, Mario got some hits. Mario had some shits. It's just like, niggas was singing out there. It's like, he was putting Maryland on the map. I'm not even me, I'm not a Baltimore nigga. I'm a PG County motherfucker myself, but he was putting shit on the map. So the whole thing about Baltimore, you know, he was putting Baltimore on there. Mario was showing his ass. He was showing his ass. He was showing vocal range. He was showing Mario was killing Omarion. Every time. You look unbothered. It got so bad that the other members of B2K was telling him, Omarion, you got served. And they were showing him pictures of David Ruffin and shit. And motherfuckers was just, Mario. Like, he hit that crying out for me. It was over. It was over. Motherfucker, Mario brought a watermelon to the fucking stage and start eating it like coochie. Where do we do this at? Yo, where do we do this at where nigga brings out watermelon and eats it like coochie? Does that impress you, ladies? Because I will eat watermelon in front of, just to see. But I hate watching people eat. I never liked mukbang. So, I looked at it as weird. Mario looked at it as weird. I'm pretty sure every dude looked at it as weird. It's different. But, yeah. Overall, Mario fucking 3-0'd the fuck out of, in battle rap terms, Mario 3-0'd the fuck out of Omarion. It was like, I'm not going to say Omarion didn't try because he did touch. And it was like, oh, baby, by the way. Oh, I think it was a ghetto-ass night for R&B. It was ghetto. It was ghetto as fuck. But I enjoyed every moment of it. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that these niggas was on demon time, especially Mario, he was talking that shit. Motherfucking Sammy was talking that shit. Motherfucking Pleasure P was like, y'all not going to kick me out. I flip this bitch over before you kick me out. I was like, yo, these niggas. Motherfucking Pleasure P looked like he about to bang. It's like, he didn't dress like that. That's another part. They didn't dress like no R&B singers. They dressed like niggas that was about to bang. So, I'm going to just end it with this. Now we get to the 2000s R&B, I want to see some of the, I still want to see modern verses. Like, don't get me wrong, I still want my Neo versus The Dream. If I get my Neo versus The Dream, I'll be happy. That's the one I've been wanting, like, out of everything, that's the one I want the most. Neo versus The Dream. I don't see Chris Brown, you know, they talk about Chris Brown doing verses. I don't see Chris Brown doing the verses. But I still think Chris Brown and Trey Songz, and I think people sleep on Trey Songz like this nigga didn't have hits. Y'all sleeping, and you know, I've had this argument on my podcast before. I was like, nigga, Trey Songz used to put out bangers and shit. And you know, I think Trey Songz and Chris Brown would be fire. I personally think Trey Songz and Chris Brown would be fire. But Neo versus The Dream, that's the one I want. If they're going to do that. And I would like to see something modern, like, I don't know, Jhené Aiko versus SZA, some shit like that. Or, you know, maybe not SZA, because SZA only got like 1 or 2 albums or some shit like that. But, you know, some modern. Like, I like to see Lil Uzi Vert or some shit like that. Like, Tyler, like, I want to see Tyler Creator on the damn verses. Some Frank Ocean. I want to see some of that. Yeah, some of them modern. But, you know, I still want to see Busta Rhymes on there, but I don't think, but like I said, I think the only is either Busta, it's going to be either Busta Rhymes or Missy Elliott, or Busta Rhymes versus LL Cool J. I feel like that's going to be, like, they're still looking for opponents for Busta Rhymes, because you know Busta got hits, and he got hits on hits on hits. All right. Now, let's get into the last thing I'm going to be talking about, and that is Roe versus Wade. I'm going to pause this right now because I want to look up some information so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Man, maybe I don't talk out of my ass. So we'll be right back to these commercial breaks. Okay, all right, and I'm back. So if y'all don't understand that Roe v. Wade was overturned, first of all, what is Roe v. Wade? For those who don't know who Roe v. Wade is, it was a landmark decision it is 1973. It was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose or have an abortion. I know YouTube don't like it when you use that word, but I feel like this is for educational purpose, and I don't understand like when you're doing this for educational purpose, even though I'm about to give you my opinion, you should, like, if I'm using these for educational purposes, it shouldn't be a fucking problem. But, instead of, bleeping it out, I'm just going to say it anyway. Not like I get paid. Not like it's getting paid. But, this shit has been overturned. So, basically, what is happening is, I think they're giving it to the state by state. And it's like, hold on. My man's, he gave me the basically gist of it. Okay. Because I was like, okay, so what he in his opinion? Because I asked him in his opinion. I'm not gonna say his name. Because he was telling me, I was like, so what do you think this means for the future? And he was like, it could mean Republicans get their way with midterms. They change a whole lot more. They're saying all their quiet biases, racism, sexism, and homophobia out loud because they feel emboldened to do so due to Trump's presidency and rhetoric. And so basically, it's a crime to get an abortion. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. He said, depends on the state. Basically, Roe versus Wade made it so states couldn't stop women from getting abortions, but now the states say so they can't make it illegal. So I'm like, I think what's really going to be happening is, because I see a lot of red states, just banning abortions. And he's like, oh, absolutely, which makes the midterms all more dangerous. Well, like shout out to the brother. Me and him talk all the time. So I'm gonna have an opinion. It's some people will like it, some people are not gonna like it. But they say 3 people like it, 3 people will hate it, 4 people will be unsure on the fence. This is my whole thing and about this whole Roe v. Wade thing. I want to say first, women, is your body, is your choice. I do not think a man should be telling you what to do with your bodies. I want to throw that out there first because that I solely believe that. I do not, and if you ask me, am I pro-life or the other thing is just I don't believe in abortions. I've said this many times. I do not believe in abortions. I don't think people should have an abortions unless they have been taken advantage of. Let's just say taken advantage of forcefully. Unless they've been forcefully taken advantage of, then I explain. Then I will. Then I understand that. Even to a point like that, that is a severity. All right, it's your body, it's your choice. If you don't want to have the baby, you shouldn't. You don't want to have the baby. You're not ready to become a mother. You're not ready to become a mother. That is your choice. Do I believe in abortions? No, I don't. I have never believed in abortions. I just, I do think it's a life. I've always said this. I do think it's a life, but I do understand that, and a lot of people understand that taking care of a child is very fucking expensive. Taking care of a child is all the responsibility because it's not about you no more. And if you are a selfish person, you should not be having kids. Even if you have the money for that, I don't feel like if you are a selfish person, you should not be having kids. Yes, I know kids have changed, and sometimes kids will make you work harder for the things you get. There's a positive and negative thing. There's a positive and a negative aspects of having kids. All right. So yes, do I believe people should be getting abortions? No. But am I going to tell you what to do with your body? No. Go ahead. If you want to have that abortion, now. Now, what if it was my significant other? If we was dating, I understand that you don't have to tell me, but I would at least want to know. I've said this. I've said this before. I would at least want to know. Like, it's your decision, because I'm gonna look at you like it's your decision, like what you're gonna do about it. But I want to at least know. That way, if you're going to have it, we gotta maneuver smarter. We gotta start we using condoms or because or just not have sex. I don't, if you're going to be on the pill, that's on you. I'm not going to tell you to get on the pill. If you're going to be on the pill, if you're going to be on the patch, IUD or some shit like that, you can do that. Excuse me. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. So, but I do have control over my body. And the one thing I've always said this, because I saw this from a random person that, that's against, that, was pissed off there. And I can understand why women are, but she was like, you men are a threat. And I took that as and I'm not going to lie, I took that as offense. It's like, why am I a threat? This is the thing is why I took that as an offense, because you don't take accountability. It sounds like she's not, because to me, and maybe I should probably told her to elaborate more, because usually, but from a base value, and like I said, I don't like, from a base value, the reason why it ticked me off, because it seems like you as a woman are not taking accountability for your own actions. When it comes to sex, it takes two to tango. I have to get your consent. I understand my consent is needed too, but most of the times, if anybody knows, men, we always ready. We just on them waiting for the women's consent, because most of the times we ready to go. So most of the time we waiting on the woman's consent, and they know that. So you're gonna be the one to let us in. Sex, I don't care how people look at sex now, but sex is sacred. Like if you're gonna be in this fully sexual thing, fully sexual experience, I still feel like you do have to have sex responsibly. And then, like, I've seen all these people who's just like, oh, maybe we should. And I understand the women's anger when, they say, oh, what if they tell men to have vasectomies and all that other shit, It's like, oh, you don't like that? Then maybe I say, yeah, I'm not the one, and I say this all the time to women, because it's like, I'm not the one you need to be mad at. It's them old white men that, and then this is to me, this is where the whole thing, most men and like the millennials, we're not the ones you're getting to get mad at. But at the same time, you don't think Roe v. Wade affects us too? Like, if you have a baby and I'm not ready, I might have to be, most of these men got to be on child support. It changes their lives too, especially when you find out that's their kid. Even though there's dudes that, want to take care of their child, they want to be responsible. Like, some niggas is just not responsible anyway. It's like, and look, I understand the anger that you women have. I really fucking do. I say it all the time, like, your anger is justified. I would never say y'all reach it, but that whole thing about men are a threat, because you acting like, because that's just insinuating that we're just up here trying to nut in bitches, and then, because some dudes, we practice, like, I practice abstinence. When I was going to college, I was like, I don't want to get a bitch pregnant. So you know what I did? I'm not going to have sex. I'm just going to be abstinent. It's the same thing I said when I went through high school. And that's when, I was horny as fuck, and I wanted to hump anything that walked. But I was seeing a lot of women, a lot of little girls, and I was in high school, and this is talking about me in high school, and I was seeing a lot of girls my age during that high school time pregnant, especially around spring. Seemed like winter, everybody's all regular. Come by spring, I'm seeing bellies. I'm seeing bellies after bellies. It's like girls I know that, that I used to holler at, come to find out they boyfriend got them pregnant. And it's just like, God damn. It's like, everybody fucking around here. And to me, I wanted to graduate high school. So, you know what? I said, yo, I'm going to just, keep it in my pants. I told myself that. Because I'm like, only person that's going to hold myself accountable is me. So I said, I'm going to, be abstinent until fucking senior. And I know some people going to be like, you probably couldn't get none. I said, trust me, if I really wanted to, I could have got laid. It's like, I know, like, I wasn't an ugly kid in high school. And I had a job. So it's not like I couldn't have got laid. I could damn sure could have gotten laid if I really wanted to, if I really attempted to. But I saw a lot of pregnancies, so that shit scared me fucking straight. The same way I went through AI. When I was going through Art Institute, when I got out the Navy, I was like, all right, I need to try to rebuild my life after the Navy. All right, let me try to go to school, focus on this education and all that stuff. You know what I did? I said, I feel like the one thing that's going to hit me up most if I get a random joint pregnant and I'm going to be becoming a father. It's like, because I'm going to be a father. Because, I'm going to take care of my kids no matter what. But even then, I knew, all right, I'm not financially ready to be a father. So you know what I did? I just didn't have sex. I was abstinent. And that shit fucking sucked. Because I wanted to fuck everything that moved. It's like abstinence is, I'll be honest with y'all, abstinence is not easy. To cut it off completely, abstinence is not easy. Especially when it's like, you see attractive girls just walking in, and then like some of them, they look good, they smell good, and like, it got to a point where it's just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, there was one girl, and she don't know she ever did this, but I picked her up one time. She wrapped her legs around me, and like I almost blacked out, and I was about to drive her up on it. I said, "Ooh, let me put you down." I said, "Ooh, let me put you down." I said, "Ooh," I almost lost it. Like being like, I'm not gonna lie, practicing abstinence is fucking hard because the temptation is real, and as a man. As a man, we are supposed to be fruitful. But I'm like, look, I don't have the financial abilities to, take care of people right now. So I don't need to put myself in that position to make it worse. Therefore, I fucking just, all right, you know what? Abstinence. Right there. Just cut it off. Just be their friend and all that other stuff. But there was times where it's just like, there was people that liked me. It was just like, ah, man. It's like the first time I like had sex and some shit like that, I was like, fuck this shit. Like the last time I like stuck into some pussy, I was like, shit. I was like, God damn, this shit feel good. It's just like when I stopped practicing abstinence and some shit like that. But even then, it's just like I'm not having sex all willy nilly. It's just like I don't understand like when men tell you just. Maybe because we're just hard on it, because women's just like, there are 30 different contraceptives. Yes, you cannot pay for it. Yes, I think it's stupid that, I do think it should be free. Don't get me wrong. Like, the fact that, y'all bleed once a month, and it's not free, and it should be, and yes, there's free condom dispensers in the fucking male bathroom, that's fucking unfair. Y'all should have your own little Tampax dispenser. There's some shit that is unfair to the women, and I feel like there's shit that needs to be changed. That's more of that's the old guard. A lot of you modern women, y'all mad at the old guard. Some of the people that you are born with, that born in the same time, we agree. Yes, you have your few, but even then, like the men, when we try to explain some shit like that, like. We understand this shit is unfair. But you also gotta understand, most of this shit, like, it's your responsibility. Don't be having sex. It's just like, Even for men, it's just like, yo, if you want to be having sex responsibly. It's no fucking threat. Like, the whole thing about me being it's like a man being a threat is stupid. Because what if a woman, like, how many times have you heard stories about women poking holes in condoms, trying to get niggas pregnant and shit? I've heard plenty of stories about, like, yo, my fucking high school teacher, he told me the story. That's the first time I heard this shit. Where, like, he was dating this African joint, and she poked holes in his condoms. Women trap men too, so it's just like, threat? Yo, what? Yo, stop reaching. It's just like niggas is just like we're fucking cavemen. We bash you over here. We just having sex with you or some shit like that. No. Most of the stuff I feel like Roe v. Wade, and this is the part where I think the ladies are gonna get mad at me. You got to accept responsibility of who the fuck you have sex with. Don't be having sex willy-nilly. But then again, I've been raised in a fucking family, so I was raised in a 2-parent house. I've watched the stable family growing up. I've watched, like my parents, like, until they got divorced for like 20 years, thug it out with each other. They had conversations with each other. They had conclusions. I've seen and it was 6 of us. So I don't know. We're a perfect example. It was fucking, but you know what? They took care of all of us. None of us went to jail. And you know what? We got some of us, I'm an uncle. Shoot, I'm an uncle, and like, shoot, my nephew's about to be grown. One of my nephews about to be grown and shit. And like, it's like time's going by fast. But ladies, I would say this. I understand your pain. I really fucking do. I really fucking do, because but you gotta but at the same time, I feel like, no, you know what? This shit is unfair. Yes, this shit is very fucking unfair. And I don't want to give you the life isn't unfair shit, but it's just like, you gotta learn how, but I will say this. You have to learn how to maneuver it. There's a lot of shit that is unfair for a lot of people, especially for black people or people of color, especially black people. There's a lot of things that black people we used to do that shit was unfair. Look, I've seen people, and I've seen someone say like, what if your baby is raped? And then he was like, oh, my daughter's going to be taking care of that rape baby and shit. And I was like, yo, that dude is disturbed. That dude is, I've seen the dudes who's just like, yeah, it's about protecting the babies. It's about protecting the babies. There's a life in there. It's just like, it's not. It's not about protecting them goddamn babies or some shit like that. But it's just like, I'm looking at this. It's just like, you have to be responsible with your body. Yes, there are contraceptives for anything. Like, I remember dudes should get a vasectomy, and then, like, when they're ready to have kids, I said no. And to me, I disagree with that, too. And the only reason, they're Plan B pills for men or some shit like that. And I'm like, I'm not taking this shit. If I don't like, to me, because I think abstinence is probably, like, the hardest shit to do. All right? Because you're holding yourself accountable. Abstinence is, and trust me when I tell you this, even if you, like, can't get it off again, you can go buy escorts. You can buy sex. Sex is not hard to buy, especially in this time of day. It's like, so you can get sex from anywhere. Sex is available to you. Trust me. And but I'm going to say this, but when it comes to abstinence, it's just like, and I'm not even super religious, but it's just like, I practice abstinence because I know that I'm not ready. So I shouldn't be giving my seed out to people all willy-nilly. It's not even religious reasons why I did that. It's that it was more or less a financial reasons. I can't be fucking like giving kids, and then I can't take care of them. Like, I'm gonna be looking like a fucking deadbeat. You know how it's like, it's weird. It's weird. Parents are weird because they want grandbabies. It's like, I want grandbabies. It's just like, all right, when I'm in a position to do that, I will give you grandbabies. Is at one point I was. It's like to like my when I was like, working and all that stuff. It's just like, no, let me get back on my feet. Let me just, because a lot of people is just like, yo, let me get back on my feet. Let me get on my feet. For most people, let me get on my feet. Let me start making some money. Let me see if I can take care of myself before I can take care of a fucking kid. I feel like you should. I think before you even take care of kids, you should learn how to take care of yourself. Let's be real. You need to learn how to take care of yourself before you take care of these kids. And ladies, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I'm pretty sure some of y'all will. And it's just like, and then, I'll probably get the whole thing about, oh, maybe, the ladies complaining or some shit like that. Or, because, people going to do it illegal or some shit like that. Or you're kicked down the stairs and all that other stuff. To me, it's just like, this being overturned, in my opinion, this being overturned. Now, is it going to stop people from fucking? No, people are going to be fucking. So no, people are going to be fucking. So when you look at shit like this, it's just like, okay, if you're going to be fucking, am I going to be doing this responsibly? There's condoms, there's Plan B pills, yada, yada, yada. Is this the woman? If you're going to have sex with, fellas, if you're going to have sex with a woman, you got to think, is this the woman I'm going to have for one night? Or is this the woman I'm going to have I want to spend the rest of my life with? That's the shit you need to fucking understand. Ladies, it's just like, does this nigga love me enough that, he'd be a good man for me? Or is this a one night stand and all that other stuff? Because a lot of y'all want to do bald headed whole shit now. Now it has consequences. I'm not, is it unfair for you? Yes. But you gotta learn how to adapt. I'm pretty sure this shit would get flipped around. But the weirdest part is, this is like during Joe Biden's presidency. I would suspect this from Republicans. The fact that this happened in Joe Biden's presidency, it's also weird. I always, that just hit me right there. But in conclusion, my last words before I move on to my final thought. Be responsible for your own actions. You know what the law is now? Adapt. So let me get to my final thoughts. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get the crew back. And then I'm probably gonna go through these because I know a lot of these people got something to say. I really want to know what Crystal has to say. We probably gonna have a conversation about this and later. But if to anybody listening that's usually be on, like, if usually when I do solo shows like this, it's on me. Like I said, it has nothing to do with y'all. It's everything to do with me. It's like, I was sick. I was sick, and like the diarrhea was killing me, and like still then after this I'm probably gonna run to a damn toilet. I know there's too much information, but sooner or later we're gonna get the crew back, and especially B, because I know B, she be wanting to get on the show, but I let them all know it ain't no podcast, but we're going to be talking about this. Just so you know, we're going to be talking about this. But I want to get this out because, like I said, I just want to keep this podcast going. And I at least get my thoughts out on this before it becomes old. Because Roe v. Wade and the fucking VERZUZ shit, it's like fresh on people's mind. So, that's all we got for today. I'd like to thank y'all for listening to hear me talk my shit again. This is, Let Me Just Say podcast, signing out. Peace.